Can you imagine Inter Miami competing in the European Super League? Is this a real possibility? What would be the consequences in the world of soccer if the American club led by Leo Messi, Sergio Busquets, Luis Suarez, and others were in the opening of the competition? In this video we are going to explore this hypothesis and how it could change the sport. Doesn't it sound good? Well, let's start. By the way, I forgot before we start, are you more of a Messi or Cristiano fan? Me. Well, if you want to know my opinion, I'll tell you at the end of the video. Maybe I'll surprise you. Well, let's go by parts. We know that we all love the Champions League, as it is undoubtedly the best competition at the club level around the world. I hope my South American friends are not angry because the Libertadores fascinates me, but the Superliga seems to be every day more and more popular. Superliga seems to be getting closer to being a real thing every day. Last December 21st, a very important event took place as the European Court of Justice ruled in favor of the Superliga, considering that the case constitutes an abuse at the world and European level by UEFA and FIFA. What does this mean? Well, basically with this decision it is already legal for the Super League to begin to make the necessary arrangements for the tournament to take place as soon as possible. In fact, the CEO of the future competition, Bernd Rijkaard, said in several interviews that the intention is that the Super League is implemented soon in our lives very soon. Now, is it possible that Inter Miami is one of the participating teams? Well, to be honest, in principle no, since Rijkaard assured that the Superliga would only be linked to teams belonging to Europe. Such a statement would completely close the doors to Leo Messi playing the tournament. But we must take into account something, and that is that not many clubs or fans agree with this change, and that is why at the date of recording this video the Superliga is commanded by Real Madrid, Barcelona, and few other clubs support it. So as Rijkaard is in a hurry to get his project off the ground, he is going to need a big boost in worldwide impact. So, you're thinking what I'm thinking, right? Yes. What better way to kick off the competition than to invite Inter Miami to play in the first edition? Yes, I know exactly what is going through your mind right now. This could take some of the seriousness out of the project, but as we are in an alternative world, we are going ahead with it. The relevant documents have already been signed so that Inter Miami can be a participant in the next edition of the Super League. At this point, let's analyze the problems that would arise. Time difference. Another challenge for a non-European team like Inter Miami would be the logistics of traveling and competing in Europe regularly. This would involve adjustments to the schedule, preparation for long trips, and adapting to different time zones. Generally speaking, Miami EST is 5 to 6 hours behind Central European Time, CET, so players are likely to arrive at the tournament more tired, so adaptation would be a major challenge. Level of players. We will agree that stars like Messi, Busquets, Jordi Alba, and Luis Suarez are very good. However, they are already in the final years of their career, and it is difficult to think that they will reach the competitive level to be able to play matches against the best European clubs. Most likely, Inter Miami was one of the worst teams in the competition. Style of play. The way of playing in MLS is very different from the way it is presented in Europe. As a lover of this sport, I would say that in MLS the defenses are much worse, and the strikers have plenty of space to stand out. On the contrary, in European soccer, the style is more tactical, more physical, and with a more refined strategy. Can you think of any other problems that Inter Miami would have to face in this tournament? Leave it in the comments, and by the way, are you a fan of any MLS club? Saudi Arabia is a not minor problem. Yes, believe it or not, this would also be a handicap for Inter Miami. You may wonder why, right? The answer is very simple. Almost all the fans of this sport are very upset with Saudi Arabia and how they are signing so many great players for their local league, and this country also wants to enter the Super League. Probably the entry of Inter Miami into the tournament would make many soccer fans angry. Now let's talk about the coach of Inter Miami, Gerardo El Tata Martino. The coaching staff would play a crucial role. Considering Tata Martino's previous experience in the Spanish league, where he served as Barcelona's manager in 2013 and contributed to the conquest of the Spanish Super Cup, as well as his deep knowledge of European soccer, we could say that he would perhaps implement a soccer tactic capable of more or less competing with European standards. For Inter Miami to successfully progress in the European Super League, adapting to this style of play becomes important but not mandatory. By understanding the dynamics of European play, the team can be prepared to counter these styles of play. For example, exerting high pressure in the opponent's half can be effective in disrupting the build-up play, although let's be honest, with Luis Suarez and Messi it is impossible to exert high pressure. In fact, their last few years at Barcelona they did not do it anymore. Tata Martino could opt to compact his defensive lines, which would result in the reduction of spaces, limiting passing options and forcing the opposing team to play on the flanks or with long passes and look to counterattack with Jordi Alba on the left flank, giving width to the team in his very good associations with Messi and Suarez. Will this American team be able to surprise us on European soil? By the way, don't forget to subscribe to this interesting channel. However, there is one point in favor of the American team's participation in this competition: marketing. I am convinced that one of the strong points for Inter Miami to be a participant in the first edition of the Superliga would be the large number of fans that currently follow the team, and of course, the Messi factor. Considered by many to be the best soccer player in history, Messi has a huge fan base. The day his signing for Inter Miami was made official, the American club grew millions of followers. As the first editions of the tournament will most likely not have much impact, Rijkaard, the Superliga's CEO, wants to give it a marketing boost, and the inclusion of one of the trendiest teams of the moment would be a good idea. Don't you think so? What would happen if Inter Miami were to enter the European Super League? We have addressed the answer to this question through each of the elements previously analyzed. We understand that the idea of Inter Miami entering the European Super League presents itself as a great challenge, not only for the players but also for the coaching staff. It is evident that due to the quality of most of its players, and purely footballing issues, the chances of Inter Miami reaching the final are limited. However, we remain certain that they could compete in the early stages, and it would be an important way to boost the Super League with the marketing that Miami now has. Here is the intriguing prospect of witnessing Inter Miami in the European Super League. Do you think it is possible that they could successfully take on the giants of European soccer and become a formidable surprise to all? And as promised, I'll stick with Leo Messi. That is, for me, Cristiano Ronaldo is the second best player in the history of soccer, but the number one is Lionel Messi. Share your opinions in the comments section and, of course, be sure to subscribe for more content.